From Hunakuti to Narendrapur to New Delhi. It's a long way, long time. Can you just recall those days?
It was quite contrary to the expectations that I had to go to Calcutta University for my post-matric education. What happened was Gunasuti was devastated by floods, and we were reduced to a very needy family, and therefore I had a brother-in-law who wrote to different Ramakrishna missions in West Bengal, and 3 Ramakrishna missions responded: Narendrapur, Belur, and Belghoria. The response from Narendrapur came first, so I went to Narendrapur. I decided to work as a teacher, school teacher, for a couple of years, and then I did my MA in English from Delhi University in 1966. Joining Cotton College in 1967 as a lecturer in English, and there I spent the first 14 years of my working career. And later on, in 1978, I was promoted to the post of professor. So from 1978 to 1981, yes, I was there as a professor.
Sir, on joining Assam's educational service, you rose to higher post, I mean most prestigious post, but didn't you miss your Cotton College days as a teacher?
Well, that's a chapter long dead and gone.
I'm asking this because altogether there was a different ambience,
yes,
different atmosphere in Cotton College.
I like teaching actually. I'm very happy that you asked me that question. It's very reluctantly that I left my teaching post. I liked Cotton College, I liked the atmosphere, I liked my students, I liked teaching. And then, of course, some career considerations came into the picture. So once you join as deputy director, the rank of deputy director was it was the same rank as the post of professor at Cotton College. In fact, the deputy director's post had a special pay, which was meant as a recognition for higher responsibility.
Right.
So from deputy director, you could rise to joint director, then additional director, then director. So promotional prospects were there. But if you stuck to Cotton College, many people have done that. They are noble souls, better souls, I should say, nobler souls. Probably I was not that noble. Nevertheless, I must still say that I loved Cotton College and I loved my teaching.
Sir, I had gone through somewhere that you wrote that although there was a career concern on joining this administrative academic administration, but at the same time you felt some responsibility was there to do something reformative, something more effective.
Are you talking about at the administrative level, or in education? In administration.
Educational administration.
Well, from my own experience, I found that I rose to the level of the director's post
of higher education.
I was secondary education also. I was director SCRT also, and in between I was posted as the first director of
ABILAC.
Yeah, ABILAC, Anandaram Borra Institute of Language, Art and Culture. In short, it's referred to as ABILAC. Some call it ABILAC, and I prefer to call it ABILAC. And I think some significant work was begun during my time.
Right.
And 18 publications were there. All may be considered prestigious publications, although they might not sell like hotcakes, because that's a different kind of institution.
But these are definitely significant creations so far as the language and literature of the state is concerned, because Abilak, during your days, probably published the first ever missing Anglo-missing Assamese dictionary, probably.
Not no, that came later. This you're talking about this book probably.
Yeah, this book.
Yeah, this came later when I was director. This book didn't appear at the time.
It was planned.
Yeah, yes, the planning was there right from the beginning. You see, we had drawn up schemes of producing dictionaries and grammars of many languages of
Other
starting with
communities.
languages of Assam, tribal languages of Assam, and also of other areas on the northeast later, but in a phased manner. So in the first phase we took up missing dictionary, and then a Rabha, and also another dictionary was planned, but Rabha and missing were taken up immediately. And the missing, this one was published in 2010 March.
As an academic administrator, you held the highest post in SEBA as the chairperson and also in state selection board. Do you remember or can you recall any kind of significant reformative works during your period as a chairmanship?
The question of quality education starts with the curriculum that one prescribes, the curriculum and the syllabus. So we tried to have a fresh look at the curriculum and see what changes.
For the development of missing language and literature, this is one of the significant collections of your essays, I believe.
I have done some writing in English, some in Assamese. In Assamese, I have been writing since my school days, you might say. Since my first article in class
school magazine.
In a school magazine, class 9 was on missing oinitums, the literary beauty of missing oinitums. That I tried to bring out as a school student. It's a very immature kind of writing, but nevertheless, the first attempt at writing an article.
So that reminds me of your very, very research-based and serious and long article that you had read out in one of the Sahitya Academy seminars in Guwahati on missing oinitum.
The Sahitya Academy requested me to write a long introduction. They wanted a 30-page introduction. They wanted on introduction to the book.
It was a missing poetry collection.
Basically missing folk songs.
Folk songs, right.
And of the folk songs, there are various kinds of genres, of missing folk songs. Right, starting with the songs sung by priests, which might you call hymns or rhapsodic hymns. Yeah. So. But those genres have not been represented sufficiently. But oinitums, there are quite a number of oinitums in the collection. So, but I had to touch the entire genre, all the genres of missing folk poetry, and so that was part of the paper you're talking about. The paper. That was a part of my introduction to that book. Missing Bhakar Banan Paddhati is, you might call it a booklet. It's a small book, but I still consider it a small, significant book because this small book has brought about some discipline in the orthography of the missing language. Since missing is now a written language, there is a written tradition is beginning. It's not very firmly rooted as yet. Nevertheless, the written tradition has started, and you need some discipline or some system of orthographic system. So I tried to examine the language, sound system of the language scientifically, and came out with this small book, which was discussed by the Missing Sahitya Sabha and accepted. And because of the small book, you won't find many orthographic anomalies in the missing writings today. And you know about Assamese, I didn't explain to you.
Complexities.
Yeah, in Assamese, even now, after centuries of writing, see, there are disputes about how to write, how to represent a certain word.
Confusions, disputes.
Yeah, disputes. And
So
the son and many other articles I wrote. I couldn't find all of them, but this one is a collection of my articles in Assamese.
Cookie Nibandho.
Yes, yes, a small basket of not flowers but articles.
You just referred to now as Missing Sahitya Sabha, of which you were the founder president. You were the president since 1972 to 1980, I believe.
Oh yes, that was in 1972.
How is it
working? In fact, we started the exercise in 1968 in Guwahati Missing Kabang. I was the president, and Mr. Nahendra Padun, you know, he's a scholar. He was also the secretary of Akham Sahitya Sabha.
General Secretary.
General Secretary. Pradhan Khampadak, General Secretary of Akham Sahitya Sabha. Mr. Padun and I myself, we started this Guwahati Missing Kabang, and it was a socio-cultural organization, not a literary one, but nevertheless, we started some experimentation of writing the missing language in both Assamese and in
that organization leads later to?
Yes, later our experience of that Guwahati Missing Kabang, whatever exercises in writing in missing we took up at that time, whatever kind of experimentation was done at that time as far as the writing system is concerned, that was carried on, and in 1972 we established, both of us took the initiative, and the Missing Sahitya Sabha, which is, in missing we call it Missing Agam Kabang. Missing Agam is language, Kabang is association. So loosely we refer to this in Assamese as Missing Sahitya Sabha.
Sri Taid has a deep interest in music, and that too from his school days. He used to sing folk-based missing songs for All India Radio earlier. He was the first solo singer of missing songs on All India Radio.
As far as my little bit of information is concerned, you were a very good singer who sang for All India Radio. You were a lyricist. You were. So the first sing audio music album, you sang, you rendered a voice for it, you penned their songs, and then Director of Cultural Affairs published one missing song album.
Yeah, they produced an album of long playing.
Long playing record.
And I was supposed to be the music director of that.
Yeah, and in this way, probably, you came into contact with Dr. Bhupen Hazarika, and you wrote the script of Meri Jiori, his feature film.
Probably his last film. Yeah. I used to sing even as a schoolboy, and on during my college days also. But music, as you know, you have to have an inborn talent. One thing. Secondly, even an inborn talent can be wasted if they don't cultivate their voice.
Right.
So that cultivation I didn't do much. Missing guitar Alekha. I had to write the script for that. So from that, my association with Purushottam Da started, and he suggested that I should also sing for All India Radio.
Then you teamed up with Dr. Bhupen Hazarika in writing the script of Meri Jiori, his
Well,
last film.
Dr. Bhupen Hazarika had a dream since his probably youthful days earlier, that he would make a film on Meri Jiori, that famous novel in Assamese. And so here, when I was a teacher at Cotton College, he had approached me for help as far as the script of the proposed film is concerned. But for some reasons he couldn't start or his film or shoot his film in those days. And then later in his life, in fact, probably this Mirigiri, that telefilm, that is probably his last film, last attempt as a filmmaker. Then he suddenly requested me again, please help me in finalizing the script of Mirigiri. I said, okay, I'm ready, because I had given you word even much earlier that I'll help you as far as the script is concerned.
You had, as an art connoisseur, you had visited National Art Gallery in London, Louvre Museum in Paris, and many others. What do you visit our State Art Gallery, or have you seen the paintings of our young painters?
Well, I'm not a connoisseur. That would be a wrong word to use as far as I am concerned. But thank you very much for bringing up this topic, because I have written a series of articles on Western Renaissance painting. There was when I was a teacher at Cotton College, there was an exhibition of Assamese painters, you see, of painters' paintings in the Cotton College Union Hall. I think that was the first attempt of the kind, and also I don't know whether that kind of attempt has been made later on, but I've forgotten the year, but that was might be sometime in the early 70s maybe. I'm not very sure. I have to check. Many Assamese painters were then projected in the
painters, Benu Mishra, Hemanto Mishra.
Yeah, Hemanto Mishra was there, and Ashudev. Ashudev was very prominently represented. Benu Mishra and many of them. You see, all the prominent Assamese painters. Nilpuvan Borua was, I don't know, he was a young man at the time. So, but probably he too was represented, and then Prasenjit Dora. So that kind of exhibition of all the Assamese painters' paintings together, I don't know whether that has been attempted again later. But individually, of course, they have been doing exhibitions. Solo exhibitions have been going on. That they have been going on from time to time.
So that exhibition has inspired you to write?
Yes, I thought this is, Even otherwise, since literature, I was just into literature also. Literature and art, as you know, even different movements in the West, they are interrelated, and movement in the art and movement in literature. So that way, that exhibition, I should say, evokes some interest in me about art and culture. So when I was in the West, in the UK, I made sure that I should visit the National Gallery a couple of times. Whatever great masterpieces are represented there in that gallery, I try to have a look at them.
In this year, 2012, probably this is for the year of awards. In January, you were honored with prestigious Sukafa award by Assam state government. And then Assam Sahitya Sabha came up with this famous Basudev Jalan award. And very recently, Sahitya Academy has presented you, has announced you as one of the awardees for Bhasa Samman. And earlier also, Missing Abang Kebang has honored you with Bhasa Sajjo.
Yeah, in missing it's called Agom Migang, which is roughly equivalent to this Bhashacharya. So
just want to know, it's a very common question, of course. What is your feelings?
Well, I'm not particularly happy. I'm not unhappy either, you see. But as you know, you see, people do something because they would like to do such a work, for the love of the work, or they feel that this is a kind of work that they should do. So I have done something for the missing language. I came up with this. I had a dictionary of the missing language much earlier, published by the Missing Language Teachers Association, because they are a poor organization. So I had to keep it a very thin volume. So this is the first dictionary of the missing language.
When it came out?
This was in 1995. So I did it because I had to do it, because there was a necessity for doing it, and the teachers wanted a handy volume to as a guide to missing words. Yeah, yeah. It would help them in the teaching of the missing language. So that way, you see, one doesn't do anything for awards. You see that.
Right.
But for the love of the work, or they feel that there is a necessity for that kind, you see. So it was the same with my case also.
What do you suggest, or what is your message to the younger generation as a senior citizen or as a man of activity and creative effort for so many years, with so experience and so wonderful outcome? What is your suggestion or message to the younger generation?
Well, probably our life, depends on a few factors. I'm not going to discuss all the factors, but something that is in our own hands, that is karma. See, karma is the only thing, 100% it's in our own hands. Therefore, one has to do karma. One has to be a kind of a karma yogi. Everyone, see, whatever abilities they have, they should try to bring out their abilities to the full extent. And of course, in doing karma, what kinds of attitudes he should have, what goals he should have, noble goals obviously, that I didn't need mention. So this doing karma with noble goals, that should be one's one guiding principle of one's life. And as far as situations like the present one in our own state is concerned, the question of harmony and peace and harmony and integrity. So we have to learn to live together. There is no alternative. This is a world of variety. Variety. So we have to learn to, diversity is the word normally used, unity and diversity. So we have to recognize every diversity. You can't wish them away. Diversities will be there. So in the midst of these diversities, we have to find that trend of unity, see, and we have to learn to live together. Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Jack and Jill went up the hill. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are.